I do not have the time for this. Let's break out the big guns.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Yep, she did. Okay, enough of that. Battery's dead. More to come on that later. What's going on, guys? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome back to another weekend in the lawn. Now, as you've seen in the intro of the video there, where I unboxed and demoed the new snow thrower from the Snapper Company, I want to go ahead and give you guys a little insight on that, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are asking questions right now like, Jake, where did you get that snow thrower? When did you get it? How did you get it, right? So I want to go ahead and give you some insight on that. But first off, before we get into any of that, I want to go ahead and wish all of you a Happy New Year. Happy 2020 to everybody. Let's make this the best decade we ever have for our lawns. Anyway, back to it. A lot of you guys are wondering about the snow thrower. Where did I get it? Why did I get it? How do I get it? So a little brief backstory on that. It dates all the way back to October when I was attending GIE. To be a little more specific, Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, and I, Bros for Life, we're walking down the aisles at GIE, and then he brings this idea to my attention. He's like, hey, Jake, there's a ton of companies here who I'm sure would be willing to work with you because you're young kids, you're 18 years old, you're hustling, you're running your own business. Why don't we reach out to these companies and see if they'll help you out with your content? Maybe give you some equipment in exchange for a couple of videos to help you out with content ideas for the 2020 season. I was like, absolutely, man, let's go talk to these companies. And here we are 3 months later. I'm working with Snapper, and I'm really excited about what the future holds. I have a ton of ideas planned for it. First off, we're going to be putting it through a lot of paces from light snow to heavy. And on top of that, we're also going to take it to some of my client accounts. I'm going to give you guys some insight about how I like to do my client driveways and all that. So that'll be coming up very soon as we get some snow here. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the bread and butter of this video, which is going to be an in-depth process on how I take down my Christmas lights. This is going to be a good video for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've never done this before. I mean, I have done videos where I show you ripping down my Christmas lights like the fast and easy way, but what I've never really done is I've never gone in depth on how I like to organize my lights after they're down to reduce the amount of hassle or contemplation that I have to deal with next season when I go to open the package up and get it ready for application. And the second reason I want to do it is because of the fact that I myself made a big upgrade to my Christmas light display this year, literally directly from residential Christmas lights that you get at Home Depot to pro quality Christmas lights as part of a partnership that I'm doing here on the channel now for the holidays. If you guys want to see the video that explains all the details, I will leave that here in the eye in the top right corner, as well as linked in the description below. Go check out that video if you still like to look at Christmas lights in the cold and dark months of winter, because I know I sure do. The reason I'm bringing this up is because one problem that I'm going to face specifically now is the fact that my lights are no longer pre-configured. Now, when I say not pre-configured, I'm actually talking specifically about my C9 lights. Everything from the bulbs to the strand length to the outlets, those are not pre-configured. As a matter of fact, when you order them, they come separately and you have to assemble everything on your own. Now, there is an advantage and a disadvantage for me here. The advantage is the fact that we can custom cut our light strands to length so that we don't have too much or too little of bulbs in a certain area, and it just looks more professional as the lights are meant to fit that area. The disadvantage, on the other hand, is when you go put these lights away and you're not meticulous enough with your organization. It doesn't seem like a problem now, but when you come back next season to put your lights up and you open the bin, you're not going to have any idea which strand goes where, especially if you have to cut like 5 or 6 different strands. Some of them might be similar in length, and because of that, it can cause a lot of confusion and a lot of contemplation on your part. You'll have to figure out, okay, does this strand go there or does it go there? I don't remember, right? This one's 25 feet, this one's 36 feet. Where does it go? I don't remember, right? So you need to make sure that you're very meticulous when you put these away, so then that way when you look in the bin, you'll know at a glance that's where that strand belongs, and you don't have to waste any time. All you're really going to need for this are 2 things. Number 1, Post-it notes, and number 2, Sharpies. Now, as far as Post-it notes, ideally I recommend you have different colors so that you can color coordinate for different situations. A good example of that would be like on my roof, I have 3 different situations that I do apply C9 bulbs to. Number 1 would be my shingles, number 2 would be my gutters, and number 3 would be my ridgeline, right? So it's a good idea to color coordinate for all of those situations so that, again, I'm emphasizing the fact that when you open the bin, you'll know at a glance, okay, that's for shingles, that's for gutter. But to dive even deeper into that organizational tactic, what you want to do is on every Post-it note, you want to label which gutter specifically that light goes on. So for instance, let's say you're dealing with a simple layout like me, front peak, side gutter, side peak, back gutter, whatever, right? Ridgeline A, B, C, depending on your situation, right? Just label where that strand goes specifically, so not only do you know at a glance that's for the gutter, but you can unroll the note to make sure that, okay, this strand goes on the gutter on the side toward the back of my house. And then with that, you could save yourself a lot of time and a lot of hassle and get those lights back up quick. This method can be used for more than just roof light. Here's some pictures and videos of other ways that I use this tactic. I actually like to take the bags that all of the bulbs came in and use those to store my raspberry lights. So I label those white raspberries so that I know those are my white raspberries that I'm going to use on my birch tree next year. And if you can, try and incorporate the original packaging in some way, shape, or form to take your organization to the next level. And you could see I also do this with extra parts from my Christmas lights, right? Bulbs, clips, all sorts of things, right? I like to label that so that when I need a certain part, I don't have to go digging around for hours and hours. I can literally just at a glance, those are my shingle and gutter clips, take them on the roof with me, and then before you know it, I'm done before I started if I didn't even use this tactic. So great tactic to use if you're getting into the Christmas light game and you're getting into a more professionally involved setup. It's a great way to know what goes where at a glance so that you don't have to contemplate and waste a lot of time in the future. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll show you everything you need to know about how to get the deepest, darkest, greenest, thickest lawn on the block. So once again, make sure you're subscribed. Spring is nearing. We got a ton of lawn care content coming for all of my DIY and pro friends out there. Everything from showing you how to get the deepest, darkest lawn on the block to documenting a little bit of the business side. All of that will be coming up this 2020 lawn season. In addition to that, if you haven't already, make sure that you tune in every Friday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, to my weekly live show, Lawn Fires. It's basically a live fireside chat that I do every Friday night on YouTube Live, where I take all of your questions as they come in on the chat and I answer them in real time. It's a great way for me to educate you guys while at the same time bond with you guys in a more intimate environment. So if you want to check that out, I will leave that playlist link here in the eye in the top right corner, as well as linked in the description below. Now, one more thing, and I'm going to go ahead and call it for good today, and that is JTLK merchandise. That's right, those of you guys who've been waiting for it, it is finally here. If you guys are looking to support me that way, you can finally do it. Here's how you get merch. So we don't have an official store yet on where we're selling the t-shirts, but that will be coming soon. But in the meantime, we do have 2 sales outlets where we're selling t-shirts and pop sockets, and that's going to be eBay and Amazon. eBay is primarily where you could find the t-shirts. We'll leave that link in the description below, and Amazon is primarily where we're selling the pop sockets. So once again, look below in the description for helpful links, as well as the links for that merchandise. So with that, I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If I don't see you guys next time, your lawn, or your house in this case, is going to be dominated. See you later.